Inside Ag on KTVB is sponsored by the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation, empowering Idaho agriculture.
Idaho lawmakers dove into session with a tight budget at the Idaho State House. Some big questions loom over what gets cut and what's protected. In today's Inside Ag, Hunter Funk spoke to agriculture associations. And Hunter, you found out what they're keeping their eyes on and what legislation might get proposed this year.
Yeah, this year may not be about launching those big new projects, but agriculture leaders say it's about protecting the foundation that Idaho is built on. In a year of budgets tightening,
some of these budget decisions are tough, but we will emerge stronger in the long run because of them.
Idaho leaders say some things are negotiable, but water is not one of them.
As we're balancing everywhere else, that's one place that we can't afford to cut because it'll have, such drastic consequences down the road.
Lieutenant Governor Scott Bedke says he and other lawmakers are planning to keep the $30 million a year in water infrastructure funding. Because in Idaho, water isn't optional. Water makes our state go. Ag makes our state go. Ag is the glue in many of our communities. And so we're going to take care of that. But protecting agriculture goes beyond water. Roger Batt with the Idaho Eastern Oregon Seed Association says it's about keeping ag land in production.
But what we're trying to do this year is provide incentive for people to want to voluntarily get into this program with a financial aspect to it. So what we would do is we would have a fee assessed for farmland that's being taken out of production, going into a non-farm use. A fee would be assessed to that. It would go to the soil water conservation districts across the state, and then allocated on an annual basis to the landowners who have been approved through these ag protection areas.
This wouldn't tap into state dollars. Think of it like an impact fee. Only new growth pays for no growth. And producers would voluntarily sign up to protect their land for 20 years in order to get paid. Labor is another pressure point. The Idaho Dairymen's and Snake River Sugar Beet Growers Association say they're bracing for renewed debate over mandatory E-Verify, while urging lawmakers to let federal solutions come first.
We do expect that we're going to have to play defense a fair amount when it comes to bills directed at our labor force, and we fully expect that we're going to see E-Verify proposals come at us, and going to have to work with the legislature to try and find some middle ground there to where we fully agree we have to have a secure border, we have to have enforcement of our immigration laws, but we also have to do it in a way that doesn't damage our economy.
If that were to pass in Idaho, that creates a burden on our small family farms, administratively.
Food policy is also on the table. Dairy leaders want clarity, so high-protein bars made with milk and whey aren't classified as candy, keeping them eligible for SNAP and WIC benefits.
So we want to make sure that you get good nutritious products like dairy into those benefits so that you're getting the biggest bang for the buck on those purchases for those consumers.
And sugar beet growers are pushing back against artificial sweeteners in school lunches, urging a shift toward real sugar sourced from Idaho farms.
Aspartame, sucralose, these are all artificial sweeteners, chemical additives. They are finding their way into some products that are served in school lunches like yogurts and granola bars. Obviously, we're a huge proponent of using real sugar in products that comes from plants, comes from sugar beets. And so we're just, hoping to promote that at a state level and send that signal to Congress that parents don't want these products in school lunches.
Nothing, of course, set in stone just yet, just possible proposed legislation that the ag industry is looking at. But in a year when not everything can be funded, ag leaders say the focus is simple, just protect what makes Idaho, Idaho.
And I'm sure they're already in so many conversations with lawmakers, and they have their people that are going to pitch this for them.
Yep, all of their sponsors of the bill, they'll come from those lawmakers. Continuing that conversation always, though.
Okay,
yeah.
Hunter, thank you.